Valley.
Got it, but let's buy some land and build a family. That's a grown-up flex. And see a black man winning and get so upset. This is generational, inspirational, integrative though. On the rise vertically, working like I ain't made it though. This is for my people. Locker room speeches. Listen while I'm teaching. Nails trying like a Kias. Stole it like I'm Jesus and brought it back like a re-up. Had to demonstrate the blessing for people who couldn't see it. Now we building assets before we splurge our cash. We was talking about the dream, dog. We heard y'all laugh. Now they talking about the team and I heard y'all last. I could never take the credit. I prefer all cash. Look, laughing at the crib cause I done turned into a bank. Probably turned into a mogul before I turned into a saint. Was just a man on his grind and I turned it into great. Turn my struggle into hustle and you know I'm getting paid. Let's go.
What's going on, family? Welcome back to the morning podcast show of the Power Bank Society. This is Dr. Tayler Jacobs, your host, the general of the Power Bank Society. For those that don't know me, again, my name is Dr. Tayler Jacobs. I'm an 8-figure business developer, which means that my companies collectively have done and do more than 8 figures a year. God is good. God is the greatest. And I specialize in private banking. I teach families how to become their own banking system, how to build their own banking system. I've been doing it for nearly a decade. And I have been, and I am the curator and the starter of all this craze online about being your own bank. You're looking at the original. So I'm excited about that. For those of you all that do not know, we do our podcast, not in interview segments, but we do our podcast like a pod class. The whole objective is you want to get some things that you can actually obtain, take your life to the next level, not just interviews of somebody talking about their life to entertain you, but there's no real applicable gems that you can actually take. So we do a live show where I'll give you real case studies and examples of what I do, what I've used, so that you can be able to help your business go to the next level. So we're in the middle of the series From Scratch, and the From Scratch series was segmented from me having a couple of conversations with some of my friends, and I was telling them how far removed I felt like I have been from starting from scratch. But although I've been removed from having to start with $0, 0 followers, 0 this and 0 that, I still am connected to having to start from scratch, as our clients and our students typically are in those positions. And my goal is to give them, teachings and skill sets that they can go use and apply for their business. One of the hardest things I've been able to see is the fact that so many of us actually struggle with the concept of you got to do the work. Ain't nobody gonna hold your hand, because entrepreneurship ain't sweet. So that's why I talked about in the podcast of the first podcast of this series. You can go back and watch that podcast. But today we're going to be talking about how to fund your business using your business. There's begun to be an extreme dependency, if you will, on the concept of needing a bank. I just want to make sure y'all
need to pay attention.
Make sure y'all pay attention, because I'm really giving y'all some real good game. So when it comes to the understanding of being completely independent, it's you understanding how valuable it is for a company not to be extremely debt focused, don't have a lot of liabilities, because it raises the value of your company. And a lot of us don't really understand about building a company for valuation. And so, and we're going to talk about that too, because that's going to be important for you to understand how you build your company. In the beginning is determined on what you want your exit to be. So evaluation is an estimation of something's worth, especially being carried out by a professional appraiser. So when it comes to building successful businesses or growing or grooming, I'll put the definition on here, or growing or grooming successful businesses, most of us don't even think or fathom that your business can be sold for more money later. And I talked about that briefly. I talk about it a little bit more in this one, but I'm going to expound on it as we go. When you're talking about growing a business, the whole objective of growing a business is not to create another high-paying job. And when most of us get starting in business, we start to create high paying jobs. And when you create high paying jobs, you're no different than where you used to be. You might as well, and it's actually harder because you got to go get the customer, service the customer, build your brand, do the marketing, do the sales, just to make just about the same amount of money that you're going to make at your job with least consistency. And it's more effort and work that you have to put in your business versus just taking the same $60,000 a year from your career. And I want to clarify something. When I talk about a job, I'm talking about career jobs, those that pay you, start off 45, 50,000 a year. I'm not talking about jobs that anyone can work in. Even a high school kid can come and replace your position. Talking about a career job. So when I talk about valuation, we talking about the estimation of something's worth. For some odd reason, the only time we think about that is with real estate. And what does real estate bring us? Real estate brings us the comfort, right? I can invest in something, and as long as I continue to invest into the property, keep the value up on this property. And say I move out and I get a renter in this property, I could sell this property to someone else, or they could use the bank for financing to pay me a higher valuation than what I paid for the property. If y'all banking what I'm thinking, let me see some B's in the chat. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. But for some reason, most of us don't know that you can do the same thing with a business. I can take a business that didn't exist or that did exist, buy it or start it from scratch, build it with my own hands, and then sell it. When you think about building a company with your own hands, it's like having all of the ability to build your own house as a builder. You go and get the wood, you go there, and then you use you and your men to build up the house, and then you sell it for market value. What a lot of people don't have that capability of building from scratch. They don't have the zeal. So what does that mean? You need financing. You need money to go gut, or you raise money, or you use your own money to go and take an existing building, redecorate, adjust the inside of that building. Now you bring an appraiser out, it shows the value of the property. Then you take that value of that property and then you go sell it to the marketplace and you make your profit there. And a lot of people don't understand, banker cousins, that you can do the same thing with a business. And I know a lot of people talk about, well, this demographic does this or this demographic does that. Most businesses or businessmen or women that you look up to, they're not attached to their business because they know that they're building it for an exit. So we're going to go ahead and go to the board because we finna get straight into it. So when we're talking about this exit, right? When you're starting, the only thing that you should really be focusing on is, how are you going to exit the company? Do you plan on leaving it to your children? Well, the truth is most children don't want their family's business. So 9 times out of 10, your children either will cash out the property. They're going to cash out the business, which means they'll just let it go. They're going to be the ones that sell the business because they feel like that's not their calling. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. How many of you had a parent that did a job that you would never do, but they liked it? Let me see some B's in the chat. If you had a parent that did a job and they made some good money, they liked it, but you would never want to do that job because you feel like God got another plan or another calling for you, right? Let me see some B's in the chat, banker cousin, if that's you. Or you got an uncle, you got a grandparent that, did successful, or they did something, whether it was illegal or legal, but you could never see yourself actually fulfilling that footsteps and doing the same thing. Well, for some odd reason, when we start businesses, we think that our children are going to want to, out of osmosis, want to do our job too. They're going to want to take our business. And the truth is, I had a conversation with my daughter. She's 7 years old. She told me this 3 months ago. She said, Daddy, she said, you talk all the time about, your children taking the family business if they want to. She said, Daddy, what if I don't want to take the company? What if God, my daughter said this, what if God wants me to do something else? And I said, baby, then the business or whatever the company created for us will support whatever this else is. It's going to support that. Now watch this. Watch this. When you start something, the reason why you never make it to the end is because it's only because you didn't plan for the end. And a lot of us treat our businesses like you treat dating. You just getting in. You just want to get married. You just want to have children, but you never think what's the end result of the children that we create? And most of us don't even go there. We be surprised when a child pops up, but you weren't surprised when you didn't wear protection. And a lot of us run our businesses like a surprise. So when it comes to building your business or getting into anything from this day forward, you have to think about what is going to be my exit strategy? What's going to be my end strategy? What's going to be my end strategy before I even start? Because this will let me know what I need to do or how I need to move. If you're dating or talking to somebody, you ain't got no end strategy. Your end strategy is that you want to participate in fornication. You want to have sex. You want to fornicate. That conversation is typically had. Okay, now I know where you stand. And if that person agrees with the exit, cool. If they don't, it don't work. So many of us start our businesses and everything else without the end in mind. Well, if I know what my end is and I know where I have to start, this will let me know how I need to actually structure my business. Well, what's the end exit? Well, I end exit. I spend my whole career building this business, let's say 40 years. Because what I do want to tell y'all is that entrepreneurship or investing is a career job. You're not coming into entrepreneurship and nothing is willing. Every successful person I know, I met one billionaire in my life. Went to his house. I did all of that. Every single one of them work every day. I met one guy that do 100 million a year. I met several people that do around the same amount of money that we do in revenue a year. I know a gang of people that are millionaires. And it's only the people that run a business like it's their full-time. They don't run a business. They're just self-employed. And they may have like 2 assistants or something like that. Those are the ones that will never get an exit. It's like having a forever job that depends on you. That's not how you build a business. Let me see some B's in the chat. If you want to build a business, you want to build something that you can sell, that has value, that hires and employs, that you can be able to grow, that you can develop, that you can eventually see people doing the work. So you're doing executive work, and you're looking at reports with your team. Like if you this training is for those that want to build something that can stand without you. So with most successful people that start businesses, first of all, the successful people that I know, majority of them that got over $25 million a year up to $100 million, their exit is selling their business. Their money is in the sale. Not the earning. And the reason why so many businesses have to depend on the bank for financing is because you using a business only for personal income. No staff, no employees, no development, no education development, no training development. It's just a job. It's really a cash cow just for you. And then some other friends that I know, their original business is just an ATM machine for them. So they got to build infrastructure so it just pays them out every month or every year. And then they use that money to go and buy companies or increase their portfolio. In the long haul. But either way, you got to know where you're exiting and how you're going to exit and why. A lot of you know how real estate works. I'm going to do a visual for you because I spoke about it earlier. I'm going to do a visual for you because I did speak about it earlier. A lot of you know how real estate works. You get a house. You rehab the house, rehabilitate it. You rehab it. After you rehab it, it grows in value. When it grows in value, you sell it. Isn't that typically what people do? Or they put a renter in here and then they get passive cash flow. Right? Isn't this the purpose? When people get in real estate, right? Well, what people don't know about business, if business is done right, you build the business, you rehab the business. Well, what is rehabbing the business? Reinvest. Make it better. Make it profitable. And then guess what you do? When the value of the company goes up, you can sell the business to somebody who wants a business that's already existing, or you build up staff in the business that can run without you so that it can pay you cash flow so you can keep doing the same thing. But when you're not learning business this way, you get so caught up just in the money that you're receiving and you're hoarding that money and you're never setting yourself up for a beautiful exit later. If y'all banking what I'm thinking, let me see some B's in the chat. B's in the chat. If y'all banking what I'm thinking, let me see some B's in the chat. So when it comes to funding your business, you need to think of the revenue that you make with your business as you're building the equity up. Let me tell you something, because in order for someone to buy a business, they want to see a lot of things. What are the liabilities? How much cash is liquidable? Does the business run without you? Which means you can put a different CEO and it will still run. And what assets do you own? Intellectual property. IP is intellectual property. trademarks, TM, trademarks, copyrights, equipment, technology, staff is considered an asset. The more of these that you have checked off, the higher the value of your company. So if your business does $250,000 a year, you have limited liabilities, you're heavy on the cash liquidation, it can run without you, you own assets, you have a committed staff, you control or own technology, you control or own equipment, you own your copyrights, your trademark of your business, and your intellectual property, you can sell this business for damn near 7 times its value. Because when people are looking to buy companies, they're buying the company for the cash flow. Or if you're looking to be able to walk away from something that you built and still receive ownership distributions, your business cannot last without all of these things in place. So let's do math. $250,000 in revenue times 7 times. 250,000 times 7. You can walk away with $1.75 million. And if they like banks, I'm saying EBITDA. Oh, yeah, we ain't got time to talk about that. We're just gonna use basic terminology right now. I ain't got time to talk about EBITDA and EBIT. I ain't got time to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that inside of the actual private banker society, okay? So imagine you built a company that took you, let's say, 4 years to get it to $250,000. It runs without you. It paid you along the way a realistic salary. And you got to leave that business and make $1.75 million and go to your next endeavor. How many of you right now would love to do something like that? Now your next endeavor, you don't even have to start it from scratch. You got the capital. What bank do you need? But the problem that we have is that we don't run legitimate businesses structure. We only use it like we are working at a job. And so every time we start something, we have to start from zero over and over and over again. So hopefully we're going to be able to change that after today's podcast. I got to stand up for this teaching because y'all finna get this work. Good work. So when we are talking about funding our business, we're only going to be referring to 2 exits. You want it to cash flow so that you can make more investments somewhere else, or you want to sell it, get your money in lump sum, and move completely on from the endeavor and go try something new. If you are a for real entrepreneur It is hard for you to even fathom doing the same thing for 40 years. It's hard for you to even think that. You like to create. You like new things. You like new endeavors. So you know you're not going to be in something for long. If I were to sell all my companies and my technology right now, just know we will be walking away with a pretty check. Okay? So we're going to focus on these two exits, okay? So this means that we got to think about what? Building our business like a business and not a high-paying, overpaying job. Now, when you start your company and you are by yourself, what skill sets do you need? When you start your own company and you are by yourself, what skill sets do you believe that you need in order to get the company revenuing, satisfy customers, all of that? It's all of the skill sets that we teach you in the Private Banker Society. Let me go to the Private Banker Society. I'm going to the Private Banker Society. What do we teach you inside of our private membership only classroom? Skill sets. What skill sets? How to make a product scratch, how to launch a product or brand from scratch, how to create content that's enticing, copywriting, how to write copy that people want to purchase from you, media buying, how to run advertisement. What's this one? Sales and communication. These are all things that you're going to have to learn. Now, you don't have to become a master at all of it. You don't have to even be proficient, but you have to have some type of understanding of it. This is what I tell people. You don't have the luxury, if you don't have the currency, not to know something. I'm going to repeat that. You do not have the luxury if you don't have the currency not to know something. Because if you don't know something, you got to have money to hire a consultant that can teach you quick and then help you identify who you hire, which also takes money. So just to hire somebody, a consultant or an employee, takes money out of your pocket that you can't afford. So initially, a lot of you don't have the currency to even be able to make the mistake of a wrong hire. Okay? So let's write these skill sets down. You're going to need to be able to curate an indestructible product. What I mean by curate is either you can either create it, reinvent it, rebrand it, but you got to find a product that can be a revenue source for you. Okay? You got to learn how to launch sales for your product or brand. You got to learn content creation. The number one reason why entrepreneurs get screwed is because you don't want to take the time to learn nothing. So the person, matter of fact, y'all know I love scripture. Hold on. Hold on. Proverbs 21:20. A foolish man will always be departed from his money. Proverbs 21:20. A foolish man, which is unwise, lacking a good sense of judgment. What is unwise and lacking a good sense of judgment? Unwise and lacking a good sense of judgment is someone that doesn't strategically learn what they need to not be taken advantage of. So how do guys teach us? They test us with being taken advantage of, so now you learned. So you lost more money because you didn't want to learn what to do in the first place. That's what happens. So you hire a content marketing agency company. You should only be trying to hire people after it becomes overwhelming to you. You learned it enough, it's overwhelming, you know what to do, but now you can monitor how effective or efficient they are because you've tried it, you understand. This is why I tell people all the time, and this is why I love the Chick-fil-A model. You cannot become a franchise manager or a franchise owner if you never were the person standing out in the cold taking orders from their menu tablet. How many of you have went to Chick-fil-A and you seen grown folk out there in the freezing cold or the blazing heat, like teenagers taking your order outside at Chick-fil-A? How many of you? Most of those adults are in what's called advanced leadership training. You cannot course correct or lead somebody in a position that you've never been in. Okay, I ain't gonna sit on that long. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Y'all quiet today in the chat, so I'm gonna take it that y'all learning. You're gonna have to learn copywriting. You're going to have to learn how words are important with how you convey and how you write, because it's important with persuading people to purchase your products. Media buying. You got to learn media buying. The reason why you have to learn media buying is because you got to learn this is paid advertisement. Paid advertisement is media buying. If you don't know how to read data, if you don't know the average return rates, if you don't know the percentage of cost per click, when you hire people, the only thing you're going to be saying is, man, I ain't making no money. You don't even know how to read to data to determine if the ads are not working because of you or actually because of the person running your advertisement. Sales and communication. You got to learn how to communicate. You got to learn sales. At least enough. This is why you see so many people start with so many partners to be able to help them out. But when the partnership falls off, guess what, y'all? Guess what? Now your business is at risk because you don't know what to do. So it's a website and funnel building. You ain't got to learn how to build it from scratch, but using a templated platform like Backend. Backend has one of the best templated business in a box website building, does all your online business stuff. It's one of the best. Drag and drop, anybody can learn it. You got to learn how email marketing works. You got to learn automation, how to automate your business. You got to learn leadership, how to service customers effectively. You got to learn business finance. And anybody that wants to learn this, y'all already know inside the Private Bankers Society, we teach you all of these skill sets. See, y'all didn't even know, some of y'all that's already in. Last night, we dropped leadership, how to hire top contractors with no money, project management workflows, project management continued, finance and cash flow mastery, setting client expectations, how to scale to 6 figures a month, customer retention, how to create an unlimited pool of money, automation, sales and communication, copywriting, content creation, how to launch your product. How, you see, we got all that, okay? So I got to learn this stuff. At least enough for me to be able to make a wise hire to someone who does know what they're doing. Okay? I'm not the greatest at editing a video, but I sure can edit a video. I used to edit highlight videos when I was in college, but when I hire people, I acted as if I didn't know nothing. So when they was playing with me and I checked them, they were confused. They was looking like, it takes long. No, it don't take that long because let me show you. And I'll go do it and they be like, damn. Because building a business is much more than just making quick revenue. You got to understand the constructs of it based on the exit that we agreed that we were looking for. We agreed that we were looking to sell the business or move to the chairman position, hire a CEO, and receive distributions from that business for the rest of your life. But you cannot receive distributions from that business from the rest of your life if, in fact, you did not build a strong structural business to stand on. But everybody on the internet teaching you the easy way and you falling for it and you wonder why you always feel scammed. Let's continue. So because I know I need all of these are skill sets that I need. Now watch this. When you start your business alone, you are typically doing how many skill sets were those? Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so 12. So that's about 12 skill sets that one must become either competent, proficient, or a master of. Whether I hire an employee that knows a little bit more about something or a partner or teammate that knows a little bit more about something than me, I don't ever just hire and leave them. I hire and learn. I hire and learn. So just in case they leave, I have all of the information that they did so I can replace. We do SOPs. I didn't even put that as a skill set. How to make sure your standards of operation agreements are in order so if somebody left, you can replace easily. So these are the basic 12, look at God, 12 skill sets. Woo. Man, that did something to me, y'all. Okay, 12 skill sets alone. Now, when your business does $60,000 a year and you are alone, tell the truth. How much do you pay yourself? Tell the truth. Before you met Dr. Tayler Jacobs, before my teachings, before the Private Banking Society, before any curriculum you've ever bought from me, if your business made $60,000 and you were by yourself with no employees or staff, out of the $60,000, how much would have been paying yourself? Oh, we don't want to answer now, huh? 90% of you would have paid yourself $60,000. 99. Matter of fact, I would even attest that 100% of you before me would have paid yourself 60. That's why a lot of us get in tax issues. Some say 40. Okay, Regina, I'll tell. Some say about 40%. But what you failed to realize was you were doing 12 jobs. And if you are running a healthy, legitimately, some of y'all lying like hell. Y'all talking about I would have paid myself $2,000 a month. Y'all lying. That's okay. One of these days, I'm going to get y'all to start telling me the truth. I can't help you if you lie. So let's go here. Okay. Those 12 skill sets. Those are 12 jobs. Because you would have had a product developer. So y'all see where it says create an indestructible product? What is that? That's a product developer. So you would hire a product developer later to develop your products for you. For launching and branding, you would hire somebody later as a brand specialist that's responsible for launching new brands and products. You would hire later a marketing specialist that does your paid advertisement. You will hire later a sales specialist that does the sales for you. That's head of sales and marketing and all of that. Press B's in the chat if y'all follow me. You will hire later somebody that manages all sites and develops them. All websites and funnels. You would have somebody that does accounting for your financials. And you as the leader will get paid to lead all of these departments first. I just named 6 departments right now. So an uneducated person on business would see this 60,000 as your money. But if you're building a business, you know that that's money that you're going to need for your product developer later, your brand specialist later, your marketing specialist later, your sales specialist later, your person who builds your sites, your accounting financials, and you later as the leader or your leadership team who will be the managers of each of these departments. So your 60,000 ain't your 60,000. If I'm thinking of the future of the exit, the 60,000, I got to, whatever I would have paid them, that money got to go in a reserve. And I need to just pay myself as the leader. See, your first initial money that you're making with your company, here goes the funding tip, is to build your own line of credit. Is to build your own internal funding flow. So, in reality, you should have paid yourself around $18,000 to $20,000. $18,000 to $20,000. And I'm saying 60,000 net profit, you know, in case you got products. That means that you would have had around $40,000 to $42,000 in your fund to grow for the future of your company. Everybody and their mama, what they say? They say, man, I can show you how to get funding from the bank at $40,000 to $42,000 if you just do this, this, and that. I just showed you how to get funding at $40,000 to $42,000. And you got a brand that people know about. And you got re-existing customers already. And you got your future plan. And you ain't got to pay no interest on it. You can just make interest on that money. Candy tastes good until you get a toothache. You may say, Jake, I can't live on $18,000 to $20,000. Yeah, that's why you need a job that can cover you $18,000 to $20,000. Then you would have took home $36,000 to $40,000, enough to sustain you as you are building something for your future. So you made $18,000 to $20,000 from your business.
Y'all need to pay attention.
And you made $18,000 to $20,000 from your side job. Y'all, even with a part-time job, you can make $18,000 to $20,000 a year. Am I lying? With a part-time job, working 20 hours a week, can you not make $18,000 to $20,000 a year? The difference is the part-time job helped you. Why is this important? Because you're a part-time leader too. You're a part-time manager. It just so happens that you currently are managing all of your departments because you're the one doing it. So as a part-time manager of my own business, I pay myself $18,000 to $20,000. I go get $18,000 to $20,000. I got enough to sustain myself. I still got to put 50, 60 hours in.
We already talked about the other day of the previous show, podcast, that most of us don't even work that long. Now you got $42,000 that you can put to work. And guess what? You don't just hire a whole staff. That's irresponsible. You say, okay, which one of these do I have that I can hire somebody to help me? I maybe can hire me what's taking a lot of my time that can replace me. Oh, maybe my website. I can hire me a full-time international staff for $1,200 a month that will work 40 hours a week. So I don't even have to spend all of this, but I already have somebody replacing this for me. Yeah, we teach that too inside of the Private Banker Society. So now my responsibility of this fund is to grow the fund while I'm still doing the work. Well, how do we grow the fund while we're still doing the work? Very simple, ladies and gents. You practice banking like we teach you. You make that money work for you. Now, by the second year, you should have a little bit higher result. Second year that you do this, you should have about, let's say, at minimum another 80,000 to 84,000 in your fund reserve. You pay yourself the same amount of money. If your spouse got a job and they can hold it down, don't pay yourself nothing. By your second year, you should have 80 to 84,000. Your second year of doing 60,000 in profit. By your second year, it may take you 4 years, it may take you 6 years. Some of you may take you a month, a year. Some of you take you 6 months, depending on where you are in the stage and what skill sets you master fast. Some of you are going to be great when you actually turn the skill sets into agencies, like we're going to teach you inside of a private membership only. So then let's say you took the $40,000, you do what we teach you, and you grow that 20% by making that money move like the bank. That's an additional $8,000. You can add $8,000 here or $8,000 there. You got $88,000 and $112,000 in your fund ready to help you grow your business. You do the same thing the next year. Then you go and replace. Now you go find somebody. Now you got a little bit more money. You can go find somebody with a specialty. What do you need next? Either marketing or sales. And then you do that process as you go. I didn't hire all of my staff at first. I hired my operations first that can help me stay organized and help me structure the organization. Had a cheat code of my wife because she's in HR. So boom, my wife worked spare time, full time with her job, spare time as an HR with us. So I had HR operations. So the next thing I did, I focused on developing a sales team. So then I hired some agents. I trained them. I taught them everything I knew. Now I had other people outside of myself selling. And then when I got confident in their ability, which took about 2 years, now they control all of my sales. And now I can focus on something else. With a sales group, you can just pay them commissions. So that don't even come out of your fund. So do y'all realize how if you become your own bank, you don't need another bank? And before you know it, All it takes, I'm telling y'all, all it takes, if you repeat this process, 4 to 6 years, you will never be without a dime again. Let's keep doing this process. Let's say it just grows $40,000 every year. Your money doesn't grow or your expenses grow. Let's just say $40,000 for 4 years. $40,000 for 4 years. So this next year, your fund grew $16,000 from you learning how to invest it like we teach you. Now you grew 16, 8, 16, 24,000, 32. So you grew 32,000 just with our simple. You got 32 of interest gained. Now here, 8. Third year, 120,000. To 124,000. $164,000 or 160,000, depending. You should be around this range. Year 2, year 3, year 4. Y'all, have y'all noticed this? I'm showing you this, and I never increase the revenue that is guaranteed to happen. I'm pretending that for 4 years you did this and you only made 60,000 in profit every year for 4 years. I didn't use y'all remember when I told you my goal with the Private Bank Society is only to increase your surplus capital, your profitability by 50,000 a year? Now watch this. Plus 32,000. So you should have around, if I add the growth of your fund, $196,000. In 4 years, you should have a surplus of $196,000 as your own business line of credit that you created for yourself. That's your growth money, plus a business that is still profiting $60,000 a year. By your 4th year, you should have a full staff, still profiting $60,000 a year, paying yourself full time, and have all that growth money. Do you know what $192,000 of marketing capital can do? Do you need the bank? Did you need credit? I didn't use supernatural numbers. I didn't use unrealistic, you become a millionaire. No, I use realistic numbers. Your business does 60,000 in net profit a year, 4 years in a row. Your revenue grows, but your net profit kind of stays the same because you're hiring staff and you're using that money to continue. Say you wanted to sell this company. It's still only doing $60,000 a year. You're not really in love with this company. You got a new passion that you want. You can either, one, keep cash flowing it, now you good, or two, sell it. 60,000, you don't own technology, you just own, you got staff, you got this 60,000 net profit times, let's call it a 4 times multiple. So you're $60,000 a year. You say, man, I want to sell this business. So 60 times 4 times multiple, which means it'll take somebody about 4 years to make their money back. You don't own any assets right now. You're just playing the cash game for 4 years. Some of y'all only stay on jobs for 4 years and won't even be able to exit like this. They'll pay you $240,000. You negotiate to keep your line of credit that you built internally. They agree because they believe in the bank. You believe in being a bank. So then you add your $196,000 to that. Now you got $436,000 in the bank or in your reserve, ready for your next endeavor. That's modest, y'all. That's modest. If you lent this money right here after 4 years and only made 10% of interest on your money from that point on, lending your money, becoming a private lender like we teach you, that's $43,600 a year for the rest of your life, never having to hard labor again. See, I don't know what game y'all play. And I don't know what y'all in it for. But that man, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, man. If y'all are not a part of the Private Banker Society, our private membership group, you sleeping. You're sleeping. You are sleeping. Or you can go into your next business endeavor. We'll use this example again. You got paid out $240,000. You still got $196,000 self-made and owned business line of credit. You know in your mind that ain't your money. That's your company's money unless you retire out. You take this money and you live on it. You live on it for, let's call it 2 to 3 years. I don't know about y'all, but I can find a way to live on $240,000 for 2 to 3 years. Even with, well, maybe not with my lifestyle now, but when it was a lot more simpler for sure. Then you take this $196,000 and you start your new business. 8 years, if your company 4 years ago sold for $436,000, your second company at minimum sell for $1 million if you know what you're doing. If you learned your lessons. Like I told you, I can't teach you how to make $1 million tomorrow, but I can teach you how to make $1 million for the rest of your life. See, there's certain people on the internet that do it and can teach it. And then there's other ones that can't even. My goal for you isn't to earn $1 million. You build $1 million. Some of us will get lucky. I'm a lucky individual. I'm a lucky individual. I've been able to receive $1 million in a year earned from the company. Yes. Distribution. My salary isn't that, but ownership distribution for sure. My salary is like my salary is $132,000 a year. My salary that the company pays me is $132,000 a year. And most of my ownership distributions, I put right back into the company. Because I'm building something. I'm building something. If this was able to help you all out, let me see some B's in the chat. If this was mind-blowing, let me see some B's. If it made you be like, damn, I gotta, yeah. My job as the general of the Private Banking Society is to teach you, stop hustling backwards. We hustling backwards, y'all. Backwards. We hustling backwards. And if you already have 6 figures in capital, I can show you how to make that money work for you. So you're not starting from scratch. You may be older, don't have the energy, but you got the capital. When you join the Private Banking Society, we teach you how to make that money work for you. So you can start on the second level and don't have to start on the first. If you're not a part of the Private Banking Society, you absolutely need to become a part of the Private Banking Society. All you got to do is go to privatebankersociety.com. You go to privatebankersociety.com. As you see here, bankerssociety.com. For $141.50 a month. When we get to 250 members, of course, the price is going to go up. Because I don't know what program gives you all of these. And I say this at the end of every podcast. My leadership, look at this, hiring top contractor is an hour. We have over 170 hours of classroom style learning, teaching you all of the basics, ins and out of skill sets. And we're going to be adding 2 more cash flow creation businesses that you can start almost with not a lot of money and be able to scale up. We got e-commerce coming. We got resellers, building a resellers business coming. So we're going to have 5. You got an active community. Listen, our community is lit. You got an active community here of people that are there helping each other out. We got a leadership board right here that you'll be able to see who's actually bringing the most value. Khalil Muhammad, shout out to you. You just got in this mug Friday, Black Friday, and you already 7th on the contributor list all time. That is dope. Khalil, you even took Marlon King out. He ain't gonna like that. Khalil coming for y'all spot, ladies. At the end of 30 days, the top 3 will always get a gift for the value that you're bringing. Y'all, the classroom alone's amazing. The community's amazing. But not only that, we also give you access because of your membership. You get access to our technology. This is an all-in-one business technology that runs your entire online business. From websites to emails, drag and drop surveys and forms, online appointment scheduling, real-time analytics, membership courses, CRMs. And to tell you the truth, just for the technology alone, it's $191 a month or $229 a month. You go to Private Banker Society, you get access to all of that for $141.50 right now. So when you go to the Private Banking Society, you'll click to watch the short film. You'll put your real information in. You're going to get emailed the short film to watch. Then you're going to get immediate access to our free side of the Private Banking Society. This side right here will let you come in and test us out. Taste us out, test us out. We got 361 members a part of this free elite. You got classroom style stuff in here. You go through all of these. If you like what you are experiencing, you'll get the invite. You'll take the invite to join the elite. And then this will take you here to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, so we even allow for you to test it out free. Oh yeah, I forgot, Marlon. CRM too. We do got a CRM too. Okay, so this is a no-brainer to me. If you're already a banker cousin, official banker cousin, a part of the elite Private Banking Society, what I want you to do, I want you to share this out, send your link out with it, have a conversation with the people that you're sending out, let them know that they need the value. 2, if you're ready to take the steps, it costs you nothing. Just go ahead and go through the steps, get experience, get acclimated to our community. Ask yourself, do you want to be a part? See how we engage with each other. See the value of the content that's being presented. If you feel like, yo, I believe this is the right space for me, go ahead and make that move. Until then, this is Dr. Tayler Jacobs of the Private Banking Society, the General. I'm going to be closing the bank vault to this class. And this podcast series is sponsored by one of our clients, turned into a good friend, Baked. Let me go. I'm going to take y'all to his site. You can go to Baked OKC. If you're into, I didn't used to be into this, y'all, but you know, a CBD and natural organic things to help calm you down, to help with anxiety. I mean, everything. Like I use the Baked stuff, and he's very, very great with this stuff. I'm just going to tell you this right now. I'm going to give a couple of, Marlon said the difference is there's technology to back the teachings. No one offers this, just strategies with no implementation, totally opposite. And then the last one, Shannon Wallace said, the best investment I have ever made. The PBS has provided me training that would normally cost thousands. Join PBS. It is worth every dollar. Listen, I ain't going to tell you. Private Banking Society and our motto, y'all know it, is to make families great again. And we out.
I love you, Poppy.
Yeah. Look. Dylan got it up. Let's buy some land and build a family. That's a grown-up flex. And see a black man winning and get so upset. This is generational, inspirational, integrative though. On the rise vertically, working like I ain't made it though. This is for my people. Locker room speeches. Listen while I'm teaching. Nails trying like a kiss. Stole it like I'm Jesus and brought it back like a re-up. Had to demonstrate the blessing for people who couldn't see it. Now we building assets before we splurge our cash. We was talking about the dream, dog. We heard y'all laugh. Now they talking about the team and I heard y'all last. I could never take the credit. I prefer all cash. Look, laughing at the crib cause I done turned into a bank. Probably turned into a mogul before I turned into a saint. Was just a man on his grind and I turned it into great. Turn my struggle into hustle and you know I'm getting paid. Let's go.